on that champion. It's all about the jump ins, heroes entrance, taunts. You guys know the story.
All right, definitely. Oh, yeah, there it is. Rebenga for the Rengar.
The Vanguard.
Rengar! All right, that's available. And Ziggs is available too for the power picks. And they're going to hover over that. BREN Esports will take it.
Okay, so if RQ is gonna lock this in, could be the first Olaf of the day, and apparently it is. So I wouldn't call this the unkillable comp, but looks like they have a crazy frontliner. You have Olaf, you also have Marky on this Corky. He will be very much secured because you have 3 bodyguards. That's Renekton, that's Gaio, that's also
Garen.
Olaf. And for BREN Esports, looks like we will be seeing the first Garen of the day. And very much happy to see this. But another Akali for the series.
All right, so no Katarina this time. We are going to be seeing the Garen though. Yes. Garen is going to go up against the Corky. So that's possible magic damage. Corky and Galio is the supporter here. So I think Garen will have a good time right here, especially that Lucian is on the opposite, is with his side. So
Zik is gonna be at the Dragon Lane.
Okay. All right. Interesting. So, what do you think about this team comp from BREN Esports?
Okay, so I was never really in favor of the Zig support. Solely because if you don't snowball, if Lucian doesn't snowball, you're gonna just be this champion that's gonna need a lot of gold, a lot of farm. So the resources will be less compared to the usual. I mean, Akali will need to farm as well, but there's that. I do love the fact that we get to see another Rebengar and another Akali at the mid lane. Really looking forward to seeing their matchup up against this Ahri. But for the side of the Dragon lane, I guess Corky and Galio, they will have the more comfortable early game. But of course, with all things said and done, let's see how both teams will be able to execute their draft because we're going to jump into game number 1.
All right. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Wild Rift. Already off the bat, on the mid side, there are 3 champions here from RRQ. I love the team comp of BREN right now. They are focusing on team fights. So if this boils down to 5v5, they will have a very good win condition right there. But RRQ, looking at their lineup, that's a possible split push right here as an option for them. And with that, they will be forcing Garen onto the sidelines, or maybe even the Akali. So somehow RRQ, I will favor that flexibility in their team comp, but we'll see for sure in the later part of the game.
We will see indeed, because so far things are pretty even. Jet is not look at the silence and the stunts both landing at the same time. But both are just being very careful. I do not expect Jeff to be very aggressive in the early game so far because Renekton, well, that is also being wielded by Hyde. Renekton definitely has the upper hand, unless Jeff has something different in his mind. He also has exhaust, honestly, so I guess it's just going to be Garen, a 5v5 centered Garen, not the kind of Garen that will just cause a lot of ruckus in the early game, get a lot of this in the early game, but that is going to be Rebenga to saying hi, hello to the Dragon laners. We also have the other members of RQ making their way there. Rift Scuttler is going to be picked up by the side of the men in red.
Yes, and this is bad for BREN Esports. Rebenga being at the bottom side means that he will have to walk all the way to the top lane to get the Rift Scuttler for their own. But RQ, there's going to be fight at the top side right there. Exhaust, it's going to be connecting right here. One more poke, and it is going to be Hyde who gets the first blood in favor of RRQ as Jeff goes down. Well played.
Chef's kiss. He popped Ignite at the perfect time. And again, if you're Garen, you shouldn't force these fights towards Renekton. Make sure you will not give any other lead to Hyde. Even though Jeff, he believed he believed, that he could have gotten first blood, but he forgot. He already used exhaust. Sure, he can use flash, but he already has Ignite. So that was just very good timing and prediction coming out from Hyde. And that's the first blood going over to RQ. Looking out at Dragon Lane. Marky, though, down to the last 2 bars of his health. You also have Olaf lurking at the side, but you also have Ahri making her way down at the bottom lane.
I believe this is going to be a gank, but BREN Esports will sniff this out. RRQ is just gonna play safe at this point and will back away as Marky is already half HP down. That's a huge chunk of his HP already out for the fight, so this is bad. But so far, RRQ are in favor. I want to focus more on the top side later on, knowing that Hyde has the advantage already on the level, on the gold. So this Jeth is going to have a harder time right here and will be forced to not join team fights for BREN esports sides. That's one of the win condition of RRQ at this point of the game.
That's true. And well, for BREN esports side, they have actually two wards here at the top part, one at their herald side and one at the bush just to make sure that no one will have these ganks onto Jeff. So the Rift Herald and the first dragon is gonna be up in 16 seconds. RQ, they could let this go and just
Right.
proceed with getting that turret at the mid lane. But BREN, I guess they could try and secure the dragon for themselves. Bladed Ruined King being picked up by Hyde at the less than 4 minutes. But yeah, at the 4 minute mark, just again, that the snowball coming out from
Right.
Renekton. You can't not look at this. Let's see if RQ will be able to utilize that with the other champions. But BREN esports, they can still try to force these awkward pickoffs or awkward fights to RQ just to make sure they will be able to come back from the deficit.
True. And I think what's happening right here is that BREN esports, they know that RRQ is going to be prioritizing the Rift Herald, so that they just want to go for the trade, but RRQ is denying that. They won't go for the Rift Herald just yet, and they will try to capitalize on the advantage that they have. Renekton at the top side, you mentioned earlier, it's going to be very painful already because of the BRK available, so that they will be shredding this Garen faster. But Hyde right here in a bad spot. That's gonna be a pincer move right here by RRQ. They're gonna go for it. Renekton will try to run with the Dominus right there to become tanky,
No
but the
flash.
root connects, and with a little more poke from Rebenga, that is going to be BREN esports win right there. As Hyde goes down, RRQ will just opt for a trade and takes the dragon for them. Rift Herald is available as BREN esports just goes for the top turret.
Hyde already used his flash. That's why it was a-okay for Akali as well as Rebenga to commit onto Renekton. They were able to get that kill, but towards the lower part of the map, RQ was able to get the first dragon, and now they have their eyes on this Rift Herald. Rebenga will just go back. Let's see if Hyde will be able to check him. That is they know, because Rebenga just jumped back into the turret's safety area. So non-contested Rift Herald. So far, the lead is in favor of RQ, but still first blood turret actually going over to BREN esports.
Yeah, so basically, BREN esports are back into this game. It was RRQ who looked like it was going into their favor, but with that kill on the Baron laner, they're back. But RRQ will get the Rift Herald. I think they can use this to create space for them for the next dragon, which is going to be very important, the Infernal Drake. That's going to spawn next.
Let's see. Okay, that's gonna be the Lance Egord already being picked up by Helios. He is sitting at a level 9. He has the highest level so far in this game, but looks like RQ, they have no plans to regroup just yet. They're just gonna hold their ground in their specific lanes, even though there is pings all over the map. Hyde just gonna recover from the death that he just had earlier on. Hayes, he would just try to juggle with the fight. He still has perfect execution. But if you have 3-4 champions from RRQ making their way down at your lane, you're gonna have to ask help from Mjan, and Mjan, very good placement of the explosive minefield, was able to check if someone was hiding there, but apparently there's gonna be a no. Now Helios still has this Spirit Rush.
Oh,
They're not gonna
charm.
connect. Okay.
It's not going to connect. Consi will be okay under the turret right here, as Hyde is going to go for the top turret. But here comes BREN esports. Exhaust is going to be there to make sure that they get the kill, and Hyde has already died twice in this fight right here. Rift Herald is going to be summoned right here by RRQ onto the mid, and mid turret will go down. A little bit more poke right there. So that's going to be the trade-off for RRQ. But then again, BREN esports will take one kill at the top.
Hyde actually overstayed his welcome. He knew that earlier Rebenga was literally right there, and he was willing to help Jeff go with the kill. And again, Yes, Hyde did die, but let's have a positive mental attitude. In his
Right.
death, RQ was able to get one mid lane turret. Again, mid lane is the shortest lane for the map of Wild Rift, so at least it just opens up the map for RQ a bit more. You know,
Right.
but yeah, for itemization side, now you have Rebenga already completed. Let's try for Liandris as well as Lich Bane already available for Haze.
Ooh.
And I think that was that was an hourglass being picked up by Rebenga just now, so he will be able to jump in whenever he wants. He
Right.
is free to do so. But you also have Marky already popping in with the hourglass. No actual commitments from both teams. Small
Uh-oh.
lead from the gold side of RRQ. Haze. Okay, so
Good
like
ward right there by Hayes, and he's gonna spot Hex as they wanted to set up for a kill right there on the Dragon lane, but BREN Esports sniffs that out. So well played right there. Veterans move by BREN Esports, but party all over to the lower side of the river as Infernal Drake is gonna be spawning in the next 10 seconds of the game. Let's see what setup right here is gonna happen from both sides. Good ward right here. Spots Galio once again right there. Dragon already available. RRQ gonna start it aggressively. Let's see. There are 5 champions here. Corky is on the bottom side though. Oh, Dragon's already half HP down. Up. Here it is. The Ziggs goes down early in the fight, and Olaf is already dead. So Chaz and Helios down for RRQ, but they're gonna go for the chase right here, as it is BREN Esports who will fall short in this fight, as Lucian is gonna go down. Guys, Akali is gonna go down, and RRQ will go for the win. Will not be able to take the Drake right there, but that is gonna be your Oppo team ace for RRQ.
Team ace of the game going over to RRQ. And need I tell you, that was just Marky being safe at the back lines. Hyde still did not have flash available at this point, but at least RRQ, they were able to just methodically just, take BREN Esports out. Focus on the damage dealers. Yes, you have Garen. You have a neutralizer. But you know what? If that's it or he's zone out, there's gonna be no problem for you. That is gonna be the jumping from Rebecca connecting, but RQ still being able to get the Infernal Drake non-contested now that they were able to give it a start this round 2.
Yeah, so that is Infernal Drake. That's big for RQ at this point, and they're now up 4k gold lead right here. Hyde is already starting on the split push right here, so Hayes will be forced to join to really go for this split push pressure right here. But RRQ, they have the mid side pressure right here. Charm is not gonna be connecting on the Conti. Conti sends out the ultimate right there, but there is no follow up from RQ side, so Conti is gonna be okay. Bottom side 1v1 action right here. Hayes will be able to hide under the turret, but this turret will be a goner, as Hyde will take just that one definitely right away. Rebenga. No, that's
That
gonna
was
be
too
too
close.
late. That was close. That was close. But yeah, RRQ on top of this game.
I held my breath there, but yes, Hayes did try to go with engage, but he did not expect Hyde to be that tanky, and he has quite the damage too. So if you can see, he did commit the full Akali combo, but it was no problem for Hyde. And we did see the item builder from Hyde in there. Now RQ, they're gonna focus on objectives, but you know what? Taunts are gonna come through.
All right, there it is. BREN Esports are going to be responding to this fight. And oh no, Galio is dead. And that is bad for RRQ. Let's see if there is going to be more, as 2 champions from RRQ side will go down. BREN Esports even things up on the board.
6 on the scoreboard. 3k goal lead in favor of RRQ. Third taking advantage is for RRQ as well. But now it is safe to say that BREN Esports, their damage is slowly lurking, slowly being a threat to RRQ. Plus, they have one turret. They took down one turret at the mid lane. Benga being
Yes.
chased by Hyde.
Let's see. They almost got another turret here at the bot side, but Hyde
wow.
is going to be here to defend that. But that's dominance spent right there by Hyde, just to defend that that bottom turret right there. So far so good. BREN Esports are starting to pull ahead in the momentum of this game, but RRQ still on top 2k at 12 minutes and 49 seconds in.
That is true. And anyway, so yeah, Hyde is gonna build up this very tanky champion, and now Marquis is gonna focus on getting that buff. 30 minutes into the game, Baron is still up. Teams not going there just yet, but RQ still holding on to their 3k gold advantage. Here comes Consi, here comes Rebenga. My problem here though is no one can duel up against Hyde just yet. And on top of that, Chaz is not even in the picture. This Olaf is quiet so far into game number 1.
Yes, definitely. So, RQ already on the momentum here. That's what I'm talking about Renekton being so strong, especially on the Baron lane. The split push is gonna be the pressure right here. Garen, I don't think Garen can mirror this one out. Hayes is going to be the target right here by RQ, but Hayes will go in, and that will be the trigger of the fight. Exhaust is going to be used right here, but Hayes is already dead, and they want more. Rebenga will have to Sassis to try to survive, but Rebenga is already dead, courtesy of the Olaf, and this is bad for BREN Esports, as this is a 2 for nothing special by RRQ, and now they are already focusing on the push on the top side. Oh, Marky dishing so much damage onto the back lines. And so Conti will have to go back home as he is in no condition to fight at this point. Top turret will take a pounding and will go down, and RRQ will get out and get sprayed.
That was a very good fight coming out from RQ. I literally just said Chaz, Olaf was quiet, but you know what? He actually got a double kill after that. Hayes overextended. He, I guess, underestimated the possible damage output from RRQ this almost 15 minutes in. Rebenga did try to save as well. You also have the Protobell being picked up by Hayes. It was not available earlier on. But now looking back, Marky also, the missile barrage, it hurts a lot. BREN Esports was not able to come in with the follow through. Now BREN Esports, they are just gonna jump in. And looking back to the fight, Akali was not able to pop in with the Stacy.
Right, true. So that cost Akali's death right away in the early part of the fight. Here, this time, RRQ has already their eyes set on the Cloud Drake. There are 2 champions taking this, as they know that BREN Esports is not here to contest this at all. All the other teammates from RRQ, 3 on the mid side for the zoning, and this one is for free. Everyone is now headed toward the mid side. BREN Esports will not want to engage at this point of the fight.
Yeah, I'm gonna address the elephant in the room. RRQ, 3 out of 3 dragons, it's in their pockets. So that's a lot of buff, and that's a huge variety. You have damage, you have state, you have a lot of buffs in your pockets. How will BREN Esports come back on this? But now nice and Jeff popping in with the judgment, but Hyde is just gonna survey his way in, but still he is gonna go back. Consi receiving a lot of damage then and there. Ultimates are available though for both teams, but now GA already being picked up by Hyde.
Right, definitely. This is looking good for RQ so far, and we are already in the doorsteps of the later part of the game. So these buffs are already very good. Remember that the buffs worked in a percentage-wise, but there is a fight here on the mid side right here, but BREN Esports will be able to avoid the clash right there. That would have been very bad for them if it became a full-on fight. So well played right there by BREN Esports, but RRQ, they're relentless. They're pressuring all over the map right now. They're now pressuring and threatening a Baron take right here. Rebenga is on the mid side right here, looking for someone to capitalize on, but RQ will not provide any opening at this point of the fight. And there it is. Gaio goes in with a flash, and the taunt is gonna be connecting, but that was on the Garen right there. Ziggs sends out the ultimate. Rebenga is still on the backside, looking for an opening, and there he goes. Rebenga will just have to stasis because he takes a lot of damage, as Chaz is already very low, is already out of the fight. Rebenga is dead, MGen is dead, and everyone is just not healthy enough for this fight. So RRQ will just go for the mid turrets. There's an opening for a Baron right here, but RRQ will brute force their way. This is a base now open, courtesy of RRQ, and the round 2 is on. And that Jet is already very low. Oh, Consi sends out the culling right there, but it's not going to be enough. No death so far for RRQ, and the punish is going to be on point. That GA is going to be popped right there, courtesy of the Garen. Garen will run away as Lucian is already dead on BREN Esports side, and they will take the Baron as their reward. RRQ on top of this game.
What an extended team fight. It all started when Rebenga already used his flash and RQ. They knew Rebenga was nowhere near toward the left side of that mid lane, which is why they were very much confident with jumping in with the initiate. That flash in taunt coming out from Galio, it was a game changer. Haze, yes, it's an Akali. Yes, it's supposed to be a very slippery champion. It's supposed to dish out damage, but what will she do? Well, what will he do? That whenever every time rather he will jump into the middle, RQ would just burst him down. Height is just too much to bear at this point. On top of that, BREN Esports would constantly pressure RQ towards their base, and on top of that, they were still able to get Baron.
All right, let's see. At the bottom side, they're going to be catching Hyde right there alone, but Galio goes in for the help, and that's the power of friendship right there. Galio, the taunt is going to be connecting, so Akali goes down, and with Haze and Rebenga out of the fight, even Enjan, this is disaster for BREN Esports. RRQ, they now have their opening that they need, and they're going to be marching towards their victory already. Bottom turret will not live for long. They have Charm even connects right here for the cleanup, and that's an Oppo ace as icing to the cake as RRQ takes game number 1.
That was